Boy, Stevo here, and I just watched the debate between Trump and Biden, and it's like two old men fighting over some pudding pies or whatever. It's like seeing Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, and the grumpy old men. Um, Trump lies again. He lied through his teeth, and I think Biden did a good job. And I think that people already know who they're going to vote for, and I think that's a good thing. And I think there are people that already voted, and over 30 million people voted so far, and I sure appreciate that. And it's crazy that I think the only way Trump is going to win is that he's going to cheat. And I think it's the responsibility of the American people to figure out a way how he's going to cheat. It should be the job of the Democrats, of Pelosi or Schumer or any of those people, to try to figure out a way how Trump is going to cheat, because we know Trump's going to cheat. We know he's going to cheat. That's who he is. He's a scumbag. He's a piece of garbage, and the Democrats know he's going to cheat. And since Trump put in 3 Supreme Court judges, if Biden wins and Trump cries like a little bitch that he is, that Trump could go to his very conservative Supreme Court judges and try to do him a solid. I'm pretty sure Clarence Thomas, who's been around since the Bush senior administration, I'm pretty sure he's probably one of the most conservative judges, at least older judges. He was there when G.W. Bush cheated, and I'm pretty sure Clarence Thomas helped out G.W. Bush in 2000 and against Al Gore. And I think that's pretty much everyone's fear, is that Trump is going to cheat. But what's going to happen to the American people? I don't think the majority of the American people want another 4 years of Donald Trump. I don't think we deserve that. I don't think we deserve that. And I think that would want to make people vote even more. And I think it would make people remember through the years that, we need to vote. We need to vote, and we need to be politically active in our community and in Washington D.C. and to be very active and to really care about humanity and to really care about people, because Trump, that I can, maybe Warren G. Harding had a Klan ceremony in the White House in the early 1920s, almost 100 years ago. And I guess it was President Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, that watched D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation a couple years before Warren G. Harding became president. But we've had racist presidents, but in modern times, I think we've never had a president in modern times that have divided the people, because part of the president's job, I've always thought, and maybe I'm wrong, but part of the president's job is to bring people together. And you got these scumbag people like the Proud Boys and the militia people and the Trump turds who are trying to be legitimate, who trying to have the legitimacy to try to cry like a bunch of bitches when they don't get their way. And you know, like I've said many times, you know, a lot of these Trump turds are people that have watched Fox News, and they listen to Rush Limbaugh, and they read Breitbart and so on. And they're afraid of change, and they're afraid of modernity, and they're afraid of progress. But the majority of people, white and black and other races, are good people. And we don't want to legitimize racism. We don't want to legitimize. I hope, maybe it might not be in my lifetime, there was this story I saw on YouTube where a Somali American young man wanted to be the first Muslim president of the United States. And I'm like, go for it. Because it doesn't say in the Constitution that anything about religion. It doesn't say anything about race. It doesn't say anything about gender. You know, anybody can be president of the United States as long as you're over 35 years old and you were born in America. An American Indian can be president. A Mexican American can be president. A woman, an openly gay person can be president. An openly lesbian person can be president. Why can't we have those? Why can't we have, you know, these groups of people are going to be the majority in the future. And that's what scares these Trump turds and these Proud Boys and these militia people and the Ku Klux Klan and the neo-Nazis. What scares them the most is that people of color and women and gays and lesbians and Muslims are going to be the majority. And they don't like that. And you know what? Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. They're not the majority anyways. They're not the majority. Hopefully in the future we have an interim of white male presidents. That's fine. But we have, you know, black presidents, women presidents, Muslim presidents, Native American presidents, Mexican American presidents, whatever. Because we're all human beings in America. And, you know, it's this silly thing about these racial groups who are afraid of change. And it's like you could talk to them until you're blue in the face, and it goes in one ear out the other. They hate people because they hate themselves. And like I say, they hate people because they hate change, they hate progress, and they hate modernity. And I think Donald Trump is giving voice to these people. He's giving voice to the Trump turds that, you know, who won't accept our first black president, Obama, who won't accept a female vice president, Kamala Harris. And I'm like, fuck them. I don't care. You know? If you're afraid of change, that's your problem. You know? And a lot of people will say, a lot of racist people will say, well, I'll go here, I'll go to Europe, I'll go to wherever. If you go to Europe, you'll see more people of color in Europe than you'll see in America. If you go to Africa, if you go to South America, you'll see more people of color than you would see in America. So there's nowhere that you can go to. You know, certain European countries are very progressive religious-wise, and they're very progressive when it comes to race. So there's no way that these racist people could go to another country because, you know, there are countries around the world that are just as progressive as we are. You know, so it's the good thing is that the Trump turds are 35%. And once Trump leaves office, we'll never have to deal with them again. We'll never have to see them on YouTube. We'll never have to look what happened to the Tea Party movement. The Tea Party movement doesn't exist anymore. You know, it doesn't exist anymore. It died out because the good people are coming out. The good people came out when George Floyd died. The good people came out, and they were against racism. They were against what happened to George Floyd. People around the world were against what happened to George Floyd. And, you know, the debate went pretty well. And I think that Biden made a lot of good points. And I really don't want to get in depth into it because, you know, I think Donald Trump really had nothing to say that would make America better, you know. But the thing, what I'm afraid of, and what a lot of American people should be afraid of, is that Donald Trump, he could cheat. He could cheat. And how we as Americans, how can we deal with that? How can we deal another 4 years with Donald Trump? That's crazy. That's crazy. I've been going through a lot of stress with dealing with politics. I know a lot of people that are going through a lot of stress with politics and COVID and the race relations and everything. People are stressed out. They're stressed out. Donald Trump is a con man. He's a con man and he's a crook. And we need to get rid of Donald Trump. We need to get rid of him. He's the most corrupt politician in modern times. He's a racist. He's a misogynist. He doesn't understand the Constitution. We can go on and on and on. That we really do need to get rid of Donald Trump. And you know, Joe Biden isn't great, but at least we'll have some normalcy. And it's about time that the American people come together, at least in a local level, and to push their local politicians into doing something. And to love one another. To love one another. So I hope you vote November the 3rd. Probably November 1st will be my last. November 1st or November 2nd will be my last time I'll be speaking to you. And love one another. And I'll see you when I see you.